All right, there's one to
Oh, you gotta say the Pledge of Allegiance
I know,
there.
call to order at 6:54. Remember that?
Pledge allegiance to
To
the
the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Somebody.
Actually, Chuck, I do have yours.
Okay. You want to do the communication?
Okay, sure, I'll do the invocation.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Lord, please place a hedge of protection around us for this meeting. Please let us open up our eyes and see what these people want, and let us hear correctly, and any questions that need to be asked. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. All right. First thing we got is we'll do the public hearing for Brendan Flag. He's here, and we have the
Well,
application.
we should approve the minutes.
I think you need to open the meeting for
We already did.
Right.
I already opened it.
regular meeting and then the public
No, we already did that.
I read last month's meetings. I make a motion to accept the minutes from last month.
As read, I second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Yeah,
Any opposed?
I've already read them.
Okay, that's done.
So, we got, does everybody have a copy of the variance request from Flag on Jordan Road?
I'm sure I do.
What is it?
This is it right here, correct?
Parcel?
Yeah.
Well, we've had from a week ago. I got the same packet from before when we got it sealed off and stuff, yeah.
Okay,
We'll let,
we still have to have the public hearing, right?
yeah, we'll open that at, what time is it? It has to go for, I think, half an hour. What is a public hearing? How long is it? Do you
I
remember?
can't hear, sorry.
How long is a public hearing? Half an hour?
It has to be, I think, at least half an hour.
Yep.
Is it tonight?
Yes.
Yes, it is. They've all gotten their notices, so that's
There's no
why.
public here.
That's okay, great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Make an announcement, we're ready to start the public. You got the steps in front of you, I gave you.
No, I already did. I said we opened a public hearing at
Okay.
6:55. This is for, what is it? Map 5, lot 20? I guess?
Lot 19. Map 5, lot 19.
Okay, this one says 20.
okay.
Oh, no, 20, sorry, I'm looking at the one next door.
Just,
Apologize.
would you note into the minutes that we opened them public hearing?
I did, I said that.
Yeah, I know, but, and there were no members of the public here.
And
Just
they've all
so,
been in
just so it's noted.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And they all had advance notice.
Yeah,
Yep.
the letters got individual certified letters. They went in the paper, it's on the website, and posted out there.
Okay, beautiful.
Where's that plan? That plan, didn't we? Let's see, copy of the plan here. There it is.
It's a little foggy to me. I've been a little under the weather here for the last few weeks and bear hunting, so I'm a little off.
Did you guys, you didn't look up what article you're looking for relief from? It should be the side setback, right? Does anybody have their book that they can look that up? Do you have your book? You can look up,
I got the old one.
you have to put in what article you're looking for. And it should probably be in the, is that the lake zone? What is that zone over there?
It is the lakefront, 20,
So we need to go to that section and look where it says the side setbacks, because that's what you guys are trying to.
Article 6. Well, Article 6 is the lot standards.
Setbacks,
Yeah, well, it would be in,
22, right?
well, each one goes for each zone that you're in. It'll have a, what are you on?
Setbacks, 22.
No, we gotta find the right spot. You got residential,
Setbacks.
residential.
It's gonna be the same as all the rest.
Yeah, it's right there, there's a bunch of stuff on setbacks on page 22. Structure setbacks.
Sunrise Lake District, is that what district you're in?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, here's your setback, so maybe 50 feet, and you're in the existing lot already, but because you're gonna add on there, you come under the new 20 feet from all other property or right away. So
It'd be 8 by 8, so 160, so it'd be just over 1,000.
Well, this says between 10,000 and 15,000.
Oh, sorry, 8 by 12. That's, you gotta do that math. Basically,
you go by what we have here, see Sunrise Lake District, and you come down.
What page is the Sunrise Lake District?
What channel, yeah,
It's
what
on
channel, what page?
Page 10 of 114, and it's section B, it looks like, under your base.
How come I got
It's article-
fancy books like that?
Let's see, it's under article.
That's the thing, is some of us have, I have an older one, and that's why mine's not.
so it looks like a total with addition 1,010 square feet.
So it's article 5A,
Yeah, 160 addition.
section B, right? 'Cause you got A. It's rural residential, and then you go, the next one is Sunrise Lake District. So it's article 5A, section B. See, you gotta go here, you go base zoning district is what
And then
tells
B
you
is
what each
Sunrise,
thing
yeah.
is.
So
You
B.
got rural residential is A, and then you go to B for Sunrise Lake District, and then it comes down to
A.
B3. So it'll be
Okay.
5A,
So
B3,
he's looking for relief
from B, 5A article, section B3, the setback, a 20-foot setback.
Mhm.
So 5A.
Which is on page 10 of 114,
In my book, yeah.
in my book too.
Right.
So that's good, thank you. Sunrise Lake District, 5A.
So, go to page number 10. Yeah, fine.
10. Bed and breakfast, adult motion picture arcade,
I don't know why you
Huh?
got a weird book.
I'm sorry, who what?
adult motion picture arcade.
No. That'll be in,
That's our side business.
Huh,
Oh.
wow. Is this the Middleton zoning book I
No,
have?
you have
Oh,
North.
Northwood.
You're not even getting the right one.
Those guys have adult arcades in
You
Northwood?
should move there.
Well, I don't know about moving there, but maybe I'll take a ride over sometime and check it out.
All right, so we figured that out. So you're
Okay, here
you're
we go. Now, I have the Middleton one.
you're looking for relief from Article 5A, Section B3.
In regards to setbacks.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Sunrise Lake District, how about
An
that?
approximate 8-foot addition to the north, it says, is that north? Easterly side of the home.
no, I guess it's,
That would definitely not be the northeasterly
no,
side.
it would
That would be
definitely
the
be
southwesterly. You want to put one on the other side?
No,
That would be the direction we'd like to go, but Leachfield is right there.
yeah,
So it's the southwest.
Is that the north? Is that the same?
So towards lot 5, I mean, map 5, lot 2? No,
21.
21.
Yep, towards lot 21. Which is also known as Jordan Drive LLC.
So the first, you have to cover, what, 5 criteria that you need? Yeah, 5. There's 3, 4, 5 different things you have to go through. So the proposed use would not diminish surrounding property values. You want to just go over that a little bit?
And well, he filled this out on his application. Can we
What?
just read what he wrote?
Yeah, well, I want to just hear it from him. I mean,
Okay.
why you think that it won't diminish the values.
So this is on your, do you have a copy of your application for number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Just share that with us so we can, yeah.
Where here?
No, it's this one.
Granted variance will not diminish easterly, well, it's not really easterly side of the property owners. You wrote that, didn't you?
Use and enjoyment of their property and will be the least obstructive in terms of their view of the lake and surrounding area. And would additionally increase home values because obviously if you put the addition on and the siding and the roof, this home is valued goes up.
Where is the lake? On the other side of Jordan Drive from you?
Correct.
So,
no.
it's down the hill from us, so towards, where's that map? Towards.
The back of your lot?
No, so if you look at Jordan Drive, where
Yep.
Magnetic North is, you follow Jordan Drive that direction. So
Okay.
lot 19, down towards lot 19.
So if you were literally to step just into Jordan Drive from our driveway and look to the right, as
Yep.
this map shows, the lake is here.
Okay.
So she's got a picture of it kind of on,
This is map 5, lot 20, there they are, and this is the lake. This is that
Okay.
little beach down the hill, so here we are. That's the next door neighbor. So there are 2 lots, and then there's a long hill down the, but this is the
okay.
lake.
So the lot 21 and what's over here? Nothing? I mean,
No, this is Beach Tree
different-
Drive, this is actually a different map,
No, a different
but that's
map.
Beach Tree Drive.
But
And
that,
House of Vandy,
does,
yeah.
so in diminishing values, will that block 21 or anybody on Beach Tree Drive, their view of the lake?
Nobody from Beach Street can really see the lake.
No.
Okay.
And lot 21, that's the conversation we had with Tom and Deb before even coming here, because if we pushed it out forward, then that obstructs their view. If we push it up, that will obstruct their view.
Okay.
So this was the least obstructive for them, so.
Okay, that's all.
And actually, because the way the existing structure sits, we'd have to get a variance one way or another because we're already out
Right.
of,
Well, you could go up, you could go up if you stay under the 35 feet, because
We
you stay in the
could.
same footprint.
But
Okay,
then
but
their depth would be obstructed and they wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to see around
Right,
it.
that was my question.
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you would, just read what you've written on the application to that, because we have to go over these 5 things and make sure
Absolutely. Yep.
you meet the criteria.
I'm gonna let her read it because I didn't bring my reading glasses and she actually wrote it. She's
Okay.
got a penmanship, but
That's
okay.
fine.
All right.
That's fine.
Do you want me to go to number 2?
Nope,
We'll reread it.
number 1, yeah.
Okay, so granting the variance will not diminish, actually it's the westerly side property owner's use and enjoyment of their property and will be the least obstructive in terms of their view of the lake and surrounding area and would additionally increase owners' home values.
Okay. So, you've done it the least restrictive way,
Obstructive. Yep.
obstructive-wise to your neighbors.
Mhm.
And you've discussed this with your neighbors, at least the ones that you've talked to about your project and everything. And they were in agreement with the fact that it was the least obstructive and nobody has any issues with how you're gonna go about doing it, is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct, and as a matter of fact, so we spoke to the neighbors at 13 Jordan Drive, which is also Jordan Drive LLC.
Yeah, Tom.
Tom and Deb Vogel across the street, Jim and Megan Fetter, and then Don St. Pierre, who just recently bought the lot
Below.
towards the lake below
Right,
us. So
right.
we have spoken to those people. The other two listed, we did not speak to. The one
So-
behind us,
so-
property behind us,
So you've spoken to all of the listed abutters except for two,
except for
and
two.
you reached out, looked for them, and just weren't able to come into contact with them?
Correct.
Okay. And then, I take from this that you're going to do some obvious enhancements to the outside of the house, so it will, make the neighborhood look nicer. And I at least could see where, that would probably increase your neighbor's values if that's what you're trying to say here on this other part.
Actually, you have this application filled out on, because it's not an area variance, they're looking for a dimensional variance, the dimension of the side. Area is if you go over the size that you're gonna put on a lot, a bigger, you're trying to make your lot smaller than you need. So this here, it actually needs to be filled out for this, the dimensional requirements of it. It's not for a use restriction, it's for a dimension. It's the dimension going within that setback.
But which one would you done? So you,
I don't know.
but we're supposed to cover all five, right? So area variance.
Well- Hold on, where's that at?
This next one here.
Number 3, too.
Number 4 is application for a waiver of dimensional requirement, like a setback, like I had to do for the setback. So I just was reading, because it's not an area thing, the size of the house is not.
So that's one of the criterias?
No, the application's filled out wrong. so-
All right, well, hold on.
Well, let's just get it
Hold,
done.
hold on. The first thing we know from yours is the criteria is a lengthy and difficult process, or at least can be. I'll make a motion that before we address that, we get through the criteria, and then if it's just a matter of changing something.
Well, the
on
only problem is
application.
if people, how were people notified?
Certified letter.
We've had it posted
Right, but-
online.
But was it notified with this as for an area variance or for the dimensional?
Oh, what were they notified of?
What is
The
the
actual
posting say?
wording is in that one of those packages you have.
So let's look at the actual wording. Where was that then?
It's on.
Notice of public
So
hearing.
Chuck, just out of curiosity, I'm trying to wrap my head around area versus dimensional. Dimensional
Dimension
relates
is,
to the structure.
well, no, also the dimension is for the dimensional waiver is, if you look right here, it says.
It says variance.
Good, it doesn't say area or dimensional,
Okay.
which is good,
Yeah,
Just such variance.
and that's what we're here for.
And again, we want to do it right, however it comes down. Obviously, we know the liability involved. I'm just trying to understand.
A variance for the permit of construction, yeah, short dimensions, westerly side. This is,
Article 5A, Section 3 is what's on it. Do you have that copy of the zoning law?
yep. 5A, here,
It's the dimensional requirement.
and that's it, perfect,
Dimension
setbacks.
of the
Yeah.
20-foot
That's what we
length,
put in the
that
notice.
dimension.
Chuck, but I make we know that we're doing Article 5A, Section 3, which is all about setbacks.
Right.
The public hearing gave notice that he was doing a variance and he's doing a construction, and it says Article 5A, Section 3. So
On-
maybe even if
on-
they, while they're here,
On the notice it does?
yep, you want to
Okay,
see the
good.
notice? Yeah,
Good.
it says right here, so this is what was published at 3 different locations.
All right, that's good.
So that was nice, it doesn't say anything dimensional, but while they're
No,
here,
that's good.
I don't know.
and it does, that's what we're here for.
Right.
So if they have to
Yep.
fill out that section, let's have them take the time to fill it out, but
I'm not-
instead of postponing it again and again. And it clearly says about the setback too. One. I wouldn't have known which one too. Says they press it out and then turn the corner. Well, I make a motion, if I could, to, we know, I don't know, I guess I can't.
Yeah, I mean, we made the notice, said what section it was coming from. Um,
So they clearly just, if they need to just elaborate a little bit more and take the time to fill out section 4 is what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I mean, no, either way, it's fine, what they're asking for, because we spelled it out, what section.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
good.
So there's one section here, section C, in the equitable waiver of dimensional requirements, that states if the violation has existed for 10 years or more with no enforcement action commenced by the town, including written notice, then the applicant has met the criteria for an equitable waiver of dimensional requirement. What I don't know is how long that structure sat there outside of the new.
Right, so normally, so what happened, like when you did this, right, if it had never changed, if it was over what the original one was when you did the lot, then that would, but because you're trying to go
Beyond that.
beyond
Yeah.
even more,
Got it.
but, I mean, I think, I don't know, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I believe that because we spelled out what section he's trying to get the relief from, I think
In which
that-
we're in, which is fine, we're in Article,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, and it is somewhat the same under this, the dimensional requirements.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seemed like from the instructions that the equitable waiver of dimensional
Where is
requirements
the
would
dimensional
be
requirement?
ask for a granting of an equitable waiver only for existing dimensional nonconformities. And so I think that's why the area variance seemed to make the most sense based
Mhm.
upon the instructions, so,
That's not clear cut, but
Yeah.
I think that we have enough stuff covered because we put down
Yeah,
what the section was, having that on here. And it spells out that section in the notice, so
Mhm.
it matches what we have on here now.
Exactly.
So we think we'll be okay.
yeah.
I think we'll be all right. Even if it's not in the right section, it's almost like it's
Mhm.
the same questions, pretty much. That section 4 is somewhat the same questions as the section 3.
Mhm.
Non-conformity, make a nuisance. I mean, it's got the same questions, so,
Right, it says, how will can not diminish the value therefore in the future in the property, yeah, I would just go, it's all the same type of,
you're right, the questions are
Verbiage.
somewhat the same when we spelled
Yeah.
out what article we're moving it from, so I think that we'll be okay.
Yeah.
yeah, all right. Let's continue.
The strange thing is, just like reading through this, and not to complicate matters, but the funny thing is if we had filled out that one, it would look like we'd have to fill out this one as well, just based on what this is saying, at least to me.
Yeah.
I'm no attorney, it's just, It's,
I know,
it's kind of, it's almost one and the same, like we almost should have filled out
both sections, yeah.
both
but-
sections.
But I think that we're okay, because we spelled out what you're looking for. All right, well, we'll go on to the 3.2A.
Yep.
The following special conditions of the property make an area variance necessary in order to allow the development as designed. And then you can tell us why.
Okay, so the septic and leach field locations prohibit, and I guess that's more easterly side of home. So the leach field literally sits on the side going towards the lake, and then the septic is directly behind the house. And addition to front or back of home will decrease westerly neighbors' use and enjoyment of the view of the lake and the surrounding area. So that's lot 21, Tom and Deb Oldville.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the same benefit cannot be achieved because in addition to the front or back of the home would decrease adjacent neighbors' view, and raising the home to include a basement area or put on a second floor is cost prohibitive, and then it would be significantly more expensive. And additionally, because of the location of Tom and Deb's home and their like front deck and stuff, if we did that, that would also obstruct their view of the lake. So, granting the variance would do substantial justice because it offers the least impact to the westerly property owner, as well as increases current home's value and abutting neighbors' use and value of the property.
And then you get number 5, looks like it's the last one.
So the spirit of the ordinance, I would, having not had the ordinance in front of me for us, I would suppose though that the ordinance is set there to ensure that everybody is conforming within the setbacks, that you're not obstructing the neighbors or encroaching on property lines. And because we have the neighbors agreement, and also because we're not restricting their use of their own property or the view from their property, I think that's why it is not contrary to the spirit.
Well, it's actually not, because you are encroaching, right? So
But we're not stopping.
it would have to be answered a little differently, because the ordinance is to make it so that you don't build closer to somebody else.
Okay.
So that one would have to say,
Well,
it would have to say that you can't really build in the other directions and to utilize the house. The spirit of the ordinance is that you don't build closer to somebody else's property.
well, I kind of look at it like, it's, the ordinance is probably designed, you know, so in the parameters of the setbacks are set up so that you're not encroaching or infringing on your abutting neighbors' quality of life, if you will.
Right.
I think that, you know, probably the best way to put, at least in my mind, why it's not contrary, because you went and talked to all your neighbors you worked with them to do your thing with the least impact
To them.
possible to them.
Right, that's what would, the right way to answer it, that's correct.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I think that if we were here asking for a variance to jog the property out towards the street or behind the house or raise the roof level, then they would probabh
We
We
just
would not
have to
be
be,
having the same conversation.
you know, we have to be careful because it's not the board's job to answer, you know, these questions for you.
Yes, sir.
And trust me, you can get shot right down over these 5 criteria questions.
Oh, I believe
Right,
it.
Chuck?
Yeah, I mean, and that's,
So-
we just don't want to get in trouble when we. if
Now, granted, this one is a small and fairly simple variance, as far as that goes, but let's say you were wanting to put a Walmart down there or something. No, I mean, literally, that's, you know, that's the kind of stuff that we can get ourselves in trouble with. Because trust me, if Walmart came and wanted to put one there, and we set precedents doing some other small variance, they're gonna use that
Right, they'll use it.
against us, you know.
Gotcha, okay.
So that's why we have to be really careful. So, you know, in my mind, these five, this is the most important thing to do a variance. Because I actually have sat through a large project getting shot down over this list of five right here.
Sure.
So I think that question has to be answered. Right?
Yeah, it has to be answered a little better, and you have a blank one here.
Well, that one's the blank one, five, right?
They had filled it in.
Oh,
This one, you can fill it in and sign it, that's
Okay.
a blank one. So, like Jimmy said, not to put words in your mouth, and you had said it multiple times to us, that you worked with the surrounding landowners to make the least impact to their property and their view of the lake.
Absolutely.
To
I think we left that one blank because we weren't really sure exactly.
well,
this
it's
one's-
confusing to me.
This one's
Yeah.
filled out that you signed,
Yeah.
so this was in the packet that you signed, so. Probably at one point it was blank.
Yeah,
Right, I mean,
or answered incorrectly.
Yeah. But
I
that's why I
feel
brought it
good
up.
with answering it like that because it's not contrary, in my mind, to the spirit
Right.
of the ordinance because, you know, you did everything you could to make the least impact
And the spirit of the
possible.
ordinance is to make
Right.
it less impactful for neighbors.
Right.
Let's say something.
Well, I think the ordinance is designed saying basically, as long as you stay in this box, as far as the board is concerned, you'll have the least impact by our rules, you know.
Yep.
Which may be kind of stupid, but that's just,
What were you gonna
Not
say,
at all.
Laurie?
Not at all.
No, oh, nothing, I was just saying that, they need to just say something to that in compliance with the violations and the laws and regulations, you know, we seek our neighbors' consent and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of like you're just trying to, I would put on that, I would put, you know, in compliance with the rules and violation and law of the
Well,
zoning.
no, she's answering it correctly, like Jimmy
Yeah.
said. The spirit, to not go against the spirit is to keep it so that people are far enough apart from each other, and they work with the neighbors to do the least impact.
Perfect, yeah.
right, because what they're requesting is to not be in
Right.
conformance
Right.
with the rules and
Right.
regulations, for,
right.
for various reasons.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
And their neighbors are very nice too, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
very
Well,
nice people.
they are, and we certainly would want to be in a position where we created something for them that they weren't happy about,
Right.
you know?
Yep.
And they just redid the whole front of their house too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
The reality is that if they had contested it without us even approaching the board, we would have gone a different direction.
Right.
We would have seen what we could have done,
No.
you know, which, again, in their eyes, if building up, even though it would potentially be more of a financial burden on us, is an easier route to go because it's in the existing structure, then we would have done that. It might not have made them happy, but again, working with them, you know, the reality is when we first started talking about it, we talked about jogging off the back, but we just couldn't make the space work with a bathroom and a bedroom.
And
It
the
just,
septic.
in the
Back
septic,
there,
yeah,
that
it
was
just
the
didn't,
thing.
it just didn't work. So we said, if we just bump this out 8 feet towards them, that's when we had the conversation.
Yeah.
So
Do you
we,
have the actual, the proper map? Because that one that you have in that original thing says it's not a boundary survey.
No, we did turn in a boundary.
They did
survey.
turn one in,
Right.
they had it stamped,
But
because
we
we
want
had to have it
to
go
put that in
back.
with this application so that it's correct. Because all the ones we have say it's not a boundary survey.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, they got a stamp and a seal. They came back, that was 2 months ago.
Yeah, see, this is stamped item, so we need to copy read this one, to be in the actual application.
Okay.
Yeah, we did get their official seal.
And that is.
Right, this one is, this one. You just have to make sure we do this all correctly. You see, this one actually has the dimensions on it. I don't know if you can see that. I
Oh,
can.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's in the
Signature
back.
that I see.
That's the one I was looking at
It's on
right
the
there.
back here too, so.
Okay, it is in that one?
It is, yeah.
All right, it wasn't in the official one, so.
It's right here,
You guys can sign that?
Yeah, yes, sir. You and I have the same bag.
yeah.
All right,
It's behind the next page, yeah.
We'll add this one in.
Good.
Well, I'm working off of the original here that they
You should-
turned in, so that way we have one that's the sign. Anything else you guys want to add on this, Brendan?
No, nothing that we.
Did we lose Jimmy?
I think
No.
he went to the bathroom.
We lost him.
Oh, yeah. all right.
Anything new, Lori, any questions?
No, I have no questions at all, because I'm very comfortable with the steps that they were taking, but I'll take them.
Yeah, Chuck, it was on page 8 in the book that we had tonight.
Yeah, it's here somewhere. Well, I
You
grabbed
can
the,
take this one if you want.
no, I grabbed the original from
You got the
her, because it's the one
original.
we're gonna sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I have to do after.
You've got a copy of the original.
You ever coming back?
Did he go outside?
I thought he just went to the bathroom.
Yeah, he went that way. I feel his pain, he does about 8 times a night.
Do you guys still have the Renai heater in there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're actually looking to, put a wood stove in.
Are ya?
at some point,
And then the weird front door. That's
Yeah,
in
what
the
is
closet.
Yeah, that's another thing that's going away with new siding and a new roof.
Do you have any questions for them? Any more questions? We can-
So I guess the way that house used to be, there used to be 2 skylights up there.
Yes.
And then there was a farmer's porch on the front that was all rotted and dilapidated. So that's where that second door
We
came
can
from.
close the public side.
So, but, yeah, it's weird.
That makes sense.
Chuck asked if there's anybody in the
You know, we
public that opposes
discussed
this.
whether,
I don't think so.
so.
So,
Met.
what's the name of that family that owns a lot of property?
He
No, Hutchins.
He was not.
Hutchins.
You read through everything?
I did.
Yeah.
So,
But I knew all of it because I was trying to buy it before and then he outbid me on it. He
but I
got it.
don't know if we.
So, but when he fixed it up, he put like,
We do it right, we close the public
I
hearing.
want to say he put like $40,000 into it.
Yeah.
But even the roof up there, I mean, you see the moss growing on it.
Yeah.
You get your insurance company out there and they
How
don't want to
how
do,
long?
they won't
Been
cover you
plenty
if there's
times.
moss on
Yeah.
the
It's
roof.
been
Yeah,
30,
yeah, we're gonna do a metal roof, I
35,
think.
38 minutes already.
We're thinking about possibly doing
Yeah.
siding like your friend's, 2 houses down, the log siding.
Yep.
We'll do,
I'm gonna make a motion that we close the public meeting. And then also make a motion that once that's done, we can vote on whether these guys have met the criteria for the 5. Okay?
I'd like to second that motion, that the public meeting can be closed, and also a motion that we can vote on this.
Right, any discussion on that? No? All in
Any
favor?
other questions? Yep.
Aye. Any opposed? No? All right, so the public hearing is closed at 7:33. And you guys have any questions?
I'd like to note in the minutes that at the end of the public hearing, there was also no public here.
So, and nobody opposed, and nobody had questions.
Yes. Well, we had several questions.
Well, no, I meant the public did have questions.
And
Yeah.
rightly so.
The public did have questions. I'm not-
Right.
Don't know.
Do you guys have any discussion about it, or anything that you're concerned about?
Does Okay. Does anybody feel
Do you
that?
want me to read, here, let me read what she wrote for that number 5. Because she
Spirit.
rewrote it, because we already know the other ones. The use is not contrary to the spirit of the ordinance because spoke, and what's the next one?
With.
I should probably have you read it. Because you're
I
right.
abbreviated.
I'll have you read it so it goes into the minutes.
It's my shorthand. Spoke and worked with surrounding landowners to find the least obstructive path and to be least impactful for them.
That sounds good. Does anybody have any concerns or anything? If not, we can take a motion to approve the request for the...
Is there anybody here that doesn't feel as though any of the 5 weren't met?
No.
Okay. And don't have any more questions regarding any of the 5 on the list?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then I'll make a motion that we vote whether or not to
No,
accept the
yeah.
list of
No,
criteria.
just make a motion to approve it.
Or make a motion to approve or deny.
Well, you're gonna make the motion to approve it.
All right.
Yeah,
So all in favor of approving
right.
well, first.
You're gonna make the motion.
First, we got a second. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the criteria list.
All right, anybody second that motion?
I'd like to second it.
All right, any discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, you guys are all set. I'll sign
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you very much.
Only took you forever,
I
but.
know.
It's a learning process for us, that's
Yep.
for sure. Never had to do it.
Well,
Like I
it's
said, they've been here since.
I know.
Chuck, I'm gonna write up a petition for relief, you need to come by and sign it. There's a form, a petition for relief.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this here so they know it's approved and you can put this in.
Thank you, Ron.
Good job, you're so on the
We
ball.
didn't know that he was signing.
After going through a couple of these, and I'm on the zoning board, don't ask me how or
We've only
why.
had one other one,
But,
and somebody else was running for us, I shouldn't
But
say, so we're learning.
if I were gonna do one, I'd have a lawyer fill it out.
Yeah.
I really would, because it's, you know, it's pretty difficult to understand and interpret.
It's coming that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
I don't get variances, I just do what I want
Yeah.
and pay after.
Well, sorry it took so long.
No, that's,
That's
listen, don't,
okay.
sorry that, you know, like I said, a lot of it was on me. I won't even include her because I can't channel
Well,
it.
part of the thing was, and my big thing was the plan. Now that you had that plan showing, it's in the record, the boundary plan, and nobody can say anything about it, so.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your
Thank
time.
you.
Appreciate
Thank
it very
you.
much. Thank you, service.
Maybe
Thank you
we'll go
and good
striker
luck.
fishing sometime.
Hey, listen, I'm out there all the time. She's going away this weekend, so if you want to go out this weekend, let me know.
Can you bring a check, bud?
I will, absolutely. Yep.
Thank you again.
No,
Well,
no,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Robin.
Have a good day.
You mentioned the hunting business.
All right, so next thing on the agenda
Yeah, I'm not sure where, but,
is
I know my son wants to get some.
yeah.
unfinished business.
Unfinished business.
We have lots of that.
I know.
So you had something that you wanted to bring, Lori?
Well, you know what, I'm gonna wait, but, because it's, we've been here, but I did just mention that I wanted to bring up the lot sizes, and I was hoping, because we're working on changing a few things in here, I wanted to talk about some of the lot sizes, you know what I mean? Eventually, when we're talking about the standards, you know what I mean?
See, part of the problem, every town I've ever been in or lived in, there's only been 3, they've always had 2-acre lots. Auburn, which is right down near the border, has had, and it's a beautiful town. It's awesome. That's where I grew up. And you keep the frontage, like the 200 feet of frontage, so that you don't, and you keep nice setbacks, you know, when you have enough room. But 5-acre lots just kills a lot of them.
It does.
If you want to have an agricultural zone and have 5 or 10-acre lots, that's great. But, you know, which they have in a lot of rural communities. But for some, in the price of land now, for somebody to come, like Jimmy's son or kids or my kids, to go make a 5-acre lot for them somewhere is kind of tough if you have property.
Right.
So, I mean, I would be in favor of a smaller lot, 2-acre or 3-acre.
And, but the thing is too, somebody had mentioned too, even by me presenting that, to look at that, because again, I have another little agenda, this is off record, are we on? video?
No, we're still going.
Oh, okay, but anyways, because I have a neighbor that was interested in something, and my son was interested in something, and the gentleman that owns the land behind me had said to me that he would sell me 2 acres. Well, guess what? Even selling me 2 acres isn't gonna help us, because we're in the area of 5-acre lots, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
and he doesn't
Well,
wanna sell us
but-
5 acres. So it's just a little difficult, so I thought, well, jeepers, you know.
Well, that's good. See, you've been impacted by it.
Right.
And I mean, I built some.
But eventually down the line, we could, but I think it's even something we have to bring up to the planning. It's not even,
Well, no,
us.
they want us.
I see it the other way.
yeah.
I do, you know, and, because, you know, you'll get people that'll come in and buy a 25-acre or a 50-acre piece of land and, you know, put 25 or 30 houses, and all you gotta
And we don't
do
want
is go
that.
down to Farmington and look what one developer did down there, and the impact that it had on that town. So, I mean, yeah, I just kind of see it both ways. I'm not.
Well, Farmington has a
I'm
lot
not-
smaller. They have 20,000 square foot lots,
Yeah,
half-acre lots.
well, and again, I'm not saying that you know, that my mind is made up that it has to be 5 acres. I just think you have to look at it, slice it, dice it,
Yeah.
and, you know, to just take a hard look at it before you say, well, 2-acre lots, or, you know.
And,
Yeah.
all right, so this is my other question then. If I was to ask that for like a back lot, because we do have some things that's in there that talk about back lots. But back lots, does a back lot have to be 5 acres? That's what I'm just curious about, I don't get.
Yeah.
So even if, okay.
All that really does is give you the relief from this frontage on a road. You have
Oh,
a
okay.
50-foot right-of-way that goes back to it.
Oh,
That's
wow,
all that
okay.
really does. So it's, and
I mean, I guess I could present him, he owns 37 acres out there, but a lot of it's wetland, it's all along the Cachico, you know, but anyways.
Well, have them sell you 2 acres of dry and 3 acres of wet, and you'll be all set.
Right, I know. I know. But, and it'll take years before we ever change it to smaller, so I don't know, there's gonna be some
I don't
of
know that I don't think we can change that.
No, I know, not we, but I'm
No,
saying even the.
Right.
we would make
planning, so.
suggestions,
Right.
and then the board, planning board
Yeah.
has to do it.
However, up the street, you know, they get half-acre lots, not even, you know?
Well, those are all,
Yeah,
old
those-
grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Right. And right next door to me in Milton, everybody down the street, which is conforming to that neighborhood and spirit of the ordinance, they're all 2-acre lots.
Right.
Right.
And then bam, there you are me, 5 acres,
My house is on a 2-acre lot.
yeah.
The
Oh,
property
isn't
we
that
own
nice?
next door is on a 2-acre lot.
Yeah, and they went to 5 acres, what, back in the 90s or something, I think,
Yeah.
right?
So
And it
then
didn't really change.
So
the
maybe I would
development.
have a good little, I guess I'd have some type of, I don't even know what the terminology would be, but.
Grandfather piece of lot.
Well, there, you know what I'm saying, there are lots that are 2 acres, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah. if you
I
can-
thought it was just the
No,
community
no,
up
if
there.
you can find one that was, you know, subdivided pre,
Mm-hmm.
that change, then yeah, there are. I mean,
Okay.
I have one,
And two houses up the street from me is only 3 acres. And I
Yeah.
did log on to look, so I thought,
Right.
oh, well, there's 3 acres. You know, I'm just trying to think about helping my son, you know, he wants to get
the
some.
problem is, and this is another thing, to me, it doesn't really change much, because, trust me, if you can find a 2-acre lot, it'll probably cost damn near as much as a 5-acre lot anyway. Because,
No, I
you know, that's what a buildable lot is going for.
Right.
And it's crazy how that works, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, well, I don't know about any other new business, but
Didn't you have something, Ron?
Yeah, I just, it can wait, I guess. and-
No, let's bring it up now.
Well, this is kind of quick. I'm looking for old files. I think I've talked to a couple people, nobody knows where they are, like the St. Pierre file. It just would be helpful to have them, so if anybody happens to have them. Or Ken Anderson, does anybody have a way of getting a hold of him?
oh, Ken up the street?
He used to be the chairman.
Right.
Right?
Hey, he lives right up the road there on
He's
the
still
right.
there?
He should still be in here, right,
I
Ken?
thought he moved to Florida.
I thought he did too.
Oh, I don't know then.
Anyway, if anybody happens to come across any old files, they need to be in the municipal office.
And I don't think Ken would have had folders, but we can email him.
Well, that's what I wanted to do, but I don't have an email.
Oh, then I'll forward you his email.
So is this an abutters list that you made up, or is this something you found?
I made it up.
Yeah, that really looks good.
Yeah.
Let me look at it now that I have it, and we'll look at it and
Yeah.
go over it next meeting.
And the other thing I wanted to suggest is that we change some of the forms, and even just listening tonight,
Right.
that form we have for the variance or the.
We need to really figure
He's
out
gonna be snapped.
what people need to apply for.
There's other towns that have, I think, better examples.
Yeah, that would be good. If you find some examples to bring to the next meeting, that'd be awesome.
And that's what
Because
I
even
did.
I was getting really confused
So,
by some of the things.
The other thing was the fees. Other towns are charging like up to $250, so we have to decide what we want for fees. In one place it says $50, in another place it says $30, plus postage, plus $2 per envelope or whatever. And I'll bring some examples of that so you can decide next time.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be
Let
awesome.
me ask, where does the money from the fees go? Right into the general fund?
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously the postage pays for the postage. But I don't know the administrative, there's an income balance sheet or a sheet. So, yeah,
That would be good to find out, because
yeah.
see where it goes.
And then, that was, I
You
think
can't even
that
fill up your truck
Yeah.
for $50. I mean, that's stupid.
I just want to change some of the form, I'll bring it up, you guys go for it.
Awesome.
And
All right.
We can do that?
And we have
We
no other
can
applications?
set the fees
Yeah, I think so.
as a
I-
board,
That's
we
a
can
good
change
question,
them.
I
and-
don't
I
know.
think we have to recommend it to the selectmen, don't we? I don't know how that goes.
I think so. I think you guys can come up, because we talked about it a couple weeks ago about changing the prices, because for some reason, this question brings back that we were the cheapest around,
Right,
and everyone else was through the roof.
Yeah.
So we had thrown around the idea of possibly raising the rates. So I think if you guys came to
well, I would
us
think
with
not
a
just
raised rate,
on this, probably on building permits
Right.
and everything, yeah.
because I know Kyle just came out with that updated one, but that's when we were talking about
Yeah, I get it
going
with the
higher.
first
Yeah.
one. My permit was like $2,000. Yeah, he changed it quite a bit.
So what do you say, Mike, make a recommendation to the board of selectmen?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You guys come up with a rate, and then you guys bring it to the board.
Put my to hang.
And we'll start that
Oh.
process.
Because, you know, people want to change their houses. I mean, up where I live, just this year, they added that new one on the corner of Nicola, the big one next to the dam.
Yeah.
One other guy ripped his house down, rebuilt it.
Oh, wow.
They've rebuilt a couple little things up along the way. They're building another house up across from Dan Stevens with another lot that's projected to have another house.
Oh, nice.
Even on the other side of the lake, they're building new houses. And the guy's house who burned down a couple years ago, he just sold his and they're redoing it, so. But the money's there to go out, to people are gonna spend it.
Are we done?
Yeah, I make a motion to adjourn.
Because we can shut
Somebody want a
that
second?
thing off.
Somebody want a second?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Yep.
Shut that damn
I
camera off.
know, who wants it?